Yo, 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 yo. Shades is in the building. Actually about to react to top 10 brutal Jason Voorhees kills. Number one, I grew up on Friday the 13th. Actually, I grew up in a lot of horror movies. And everybody know I grew up on anime too as well. So I grew up in a whole bunch of different type of things. So when I came across this, I said, wait a minute. I have to react off this because this, when I, as a kid, this is what I watch this type of stuff. Period. So let's go ahead and hop into the video. Let's get it cracking. Alright, let's get into it, man.
Killing is his business. And business sure is good.
Hey.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Jason Voorhees kills. For this list, we'll be taking a look at the most creative and iconic kills performed by Jason Voorhees in both the Friday the 13th films and crossover films where he appears.
And you weren't involved. Son of a bitch.
However, we'll only be including kills performed by Jason himself. So we won't have any other killers or characters possessed by Jason on this list.
Alright.
In case you haven't guessed, a spoiler alert is definitely in order.
There you go. Hey, that's how you go
Number
ahead
10,
and smack
Corkscrew
somebody.
and Cleaver, Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
God, I'm horny.
Played by Crispin Glover, Jimmy is a socially awkward teen who is desperate for some good sex. Unfortunately for him, he accompanies his friends to a weekend getaway at Jason Voorhees' old stomping grounds of Crystal Lake.
Oh, I don't know anybody new. Well, sex is a great way to meet them.
After successfully making love to one half of a pair of gorgeous twins, Jimmy goes downstairs to celebrate with a glass of wine, but is unable to find a corkscrew. Luckily, Jason happens to have one, and promptly gives Jimmy a hand, and a meat cleaver to the face.
Hey, Ted, where the hell's the corkscrew?
Bang! Knew it was gonna happen.
One of the bloodier kills in the film, Jimmy's death is all the more shocking as his sympathetic characterization suggested he may have been the hero of the final chapter.
Jimbo?
Number 9, Garbage Can Drowning, Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan.
Walking corpses are not real.
Authority figures don't usually fare well in the Friday the 13th franchise, and biology teacher Charles McCulloch is no exception.
I'm in charge here.
School is out.
He's more than a little uptight, and using fairly cruel methods to cure his niece Rennie of her aquaphobia. So it's all the more fitting that Mr. McCullough ends up in his own watery grave, courtesy of Jason Voorhees. Taking McCulloch by the ankles and plunging him headfirst into a sludge-filled garbage can, Jason performs one of his most gruesome and arguably comedic kills. This is also one of a handful of kills where Jason inadvertently deals out his own lethal brand of justice to a more villainous victim.
Better swim, Rennie, before Jason pulls you down.
Number 8, Sauna Rock, Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan.
Nice fight, Julius. Guess I need to work on my left-right-left combo.
You can never let your guard down when Jason's around. After losing a fight to Julius, a boxer who would also have a memorable encounter with Jason in this film, this unnamed victim tries to blow off some steam in the sauna. With the towel over his face obscuring his vision, the boxer assumes it's Julius who enters to join him. He then finds out otherwise when Jason plunges a sauna rock through his chest cavity.
Julius?
There you go.
This execution was yet another example of the more tongue-in-cheek kills, which had become more and more commonplace in the Friday the 13th franchise.
He's undefeated. You know that?
Number 7, Head Spin, Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives.
You guys, try not to wake the kids.
As the Friday the 13th franchise continued through numerous sequels, there was a noticeable shift in Jason's kills, as they increasingly became the stuff of black comedy instead of dead serious horror.
All right, who's out there?
However, his killing of Sissy in Part 6 served as a reminder of how truly vicious Jason can be. After assuring a frightened girl that there's nothing to fear outside of her cabin, Sissy finds out there is indeed plenty to be afraid of when Jason comes a-knockin'. After yanking her out of a window, Jason twists her head around 180 degrees before tearing it off completely.
What?
Mr.
I
Voorhees
remember
seems
that.
to have perfected this move, as he's done it before to a cheeky coroner. Number 6. I Pop, Friday the 13th, Part 3. This third installment in the Friday the 13th franchise sought to take advantage of 3D technology and featured several kills that exploited it to the fullest.
Everything all right?
This scene, in which the character Rick meets his maker, exemplifies this element. After his car dies and he begins to search the grounds, Rick is caught by Jason and has his head crushed in the serial killer's vice-like grip. Even more grotesque is the fact that Jason squeezes Rick's head with such tremendous force that it causes
busts.
his left eye to pop out of its socket. An effect which
busts.
is considerably enhanced by Part 3's use of 3D. Number 5. Decapitating Uppercut, Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan.
Operator, this is an emergency. Give me the police.
After arriving in the Big Apple, Jason squares off against amateur boxer Julius in a battle of fisticuffs on a rooftop. In a lengthy sequence that showcases Julius's boxing prowess, Jason absorbs blow after blow to seemingly no effect. After bloodying his own fists and exhausting himself without even managing to knock Jason off his feet, Julius gives a sportsmanlike invitation to Jason to deliver his best shot.
Take your best shot.
Unfortunately for Julius, Jason packs plenty of punch in his own right as he delivers an uppercut,
Wow!
which
Hold
knocks
on, wait,
Julius's
wait.
head
Anybody that's watching this, right? You see how he went down and get an uppercut and knock that head off? Can't tell me that ain't Mortal Kombat all day. That's MK, Mortal Kombat. When they bend down and get that uppercut. That was off the chain. Let's get back to the video, though. Go ahead and
clean
get
off
back
his
in. Yup.
shoulders and into a neighboring dumpster.
Fatalities all day.
Number 4. Bedfold, Freddy vs. Jason.
Fine, I'll go shower then.
I didn't like this movie at all, to be honest. It just sucks.
Good. Your hair smells like menthols anyway.
Jason is a master when it comes to using his surroundings to his advantage for his bloody work. When he comes upon the fairly unlikable Trey in bed having a beer, Jason decides to make the most of the scenario. After repeatedly stabbing Trey with his machete and piercing the bed's mattress, Jason displays his supernatural strength by folding the bed and Trey's spine with terrifying ease. This kill is the first of many in Freddy vs. Jason, and serves as an example of Jason's more brutal approach to killing, as opposed to Freddy Krueger's more psychological and sinister methods. It's this contrast that helped set the stage for this clash of horror movie titans. Number 3. Sleeping Bag, Friday the 13th, Part 7. The New Blood.
It's gonna be a cold night tonight.
One of veteran Jason actor Kane Hodder's personal favorites, this kill from the 7th installment in the Friday the 13th franchise takes full advantage of the camping theme prevalent in the series.
Okay, you big hunk of a man, come and get me.
The New Blood displays Jason's versatility as he uses a variety of weapons to slay his victims.
Dan, what are you doing?
But perhaps none is quite as unique as his method of murdering a camper who tries to hide from him in her sleeping bag. Undeterred, Jason simply picks her and the bag up and slams both into a tree to get the job done. Originally, the scene called for Jason to
Smacked
slam
on
the
a
sleeping bag
tree.
into the tree several times, but the sequence was shortened so the film could avoid an X rating.
Bow! Off that neck.
Number 2. Machete to the Face, Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Vicky?
Although you'd think most killers would show some mercy to the disabled, Jason most certainly does not. Mark is a wheelchair-bound former athlete who hasn't let his disability get to him. But unfortunately, his impressive upper body strength isn't enough to save him when Jason picks up where his mother left off in the original Friday the 13th.
Yep.
Mark ends up on the receiving end of a machete to the face in one of Part 2's most horrifying moments. For the finishing touch, Jason even goes the extra mile with this kill by sending Mark careening down a staircase while still seated in his wheelchair. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. Number 1, Liquid Nitrogen, Jason 10.
That's number 1?
Jason's first foray into outer space spawned some of his most memorable and creative kills, chief among them being his murder of scientist Adrian. After waking up from a cryogenic slumber in a fairly unpleasant mood, Jason attacks Adrian and plunges her head first into a vat of liquid nitrogen, which freezes her entire head in a matter of seconds. Despite the icy dip having clearly killed her when he pulls her back out, Jason adds insult to injury by slamming Adrian's frozen face into the countertop
Insult to
and
injury,
shattering it. Balancing gory shock value with a touch of dark humor, this kill arguably encapsulates the essence of Jason Voorhees' modus operandi. Do you agree with our list?
I like your list. But when you sat there and said that was number 1, that movie sucked. I'm just have to be honest. He woke up. It sucked. That was okay. I'm a person that actually grew up on this stuff. I started watching Jason, I think I was like 6 years old. All the way up into, when I seen this particular movie, it was decent, but it should never be number 1. I'm just being honest. That stuff should never be number 1 at all. But anyway, if you like the video, comment, like, and subscribe. If you got anything you want me to actually react to, then let me know. Let me know what you might, if you're a Jason fan, let me know what you think is a number 1 to you. Could be anything, actually. Other than that, I get at y'all. I'm out.